Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. And the Knipex Plier Wrench is really a unique tool, and I may not have been given it enough credit, especially when I build out toolkits or my minimalist toolkit, where sometimes I substitute or suggest that maybe, well, for me anyway, the standard adjustable wrench might be a better option. I really like these. I use them all the time. I mean, the muscle memory, I can use them blind, I can use them around corners. I just have no trouble adjusting these things. They're just kind of a natural extension of my hand. And they're much faster in some ways than the plier wrench is to operate. Now, the plier wrench comes in multiple sizes. The smallest is kind of this EDC little 100 here. Here's a 125. This is like a little pocket version. This is a 180. Apparently there's a 150 in between these two. I thought I had it, but I couldn't find it. It's probably in one of my kits that's in some vehicle. Then it jumps up to the 250, and the 250 is a standard size that we might all know and love from the 250 Cobra. The Cobra comes in many different sizes, but the 250 is often the one where people start. It's the one that's carried more likely, you know, on the shelf of a store. But it actually has, you know, just an overall great use. I have suggested that perhaps the 300 might be a better option because I think you get all that wonderful magic of the 250, but more of it with the 300. And you don't really lose anything. It's a little longer to use, it's a little heavier, but to me, the magic of a greater reach, larger jaw capacity, heavier duty, beefier jaws. I mean, that's a big difference there. Might be better, and it's not that much more money. But the 250 seems to be that standard 10-inch that everybody leans towards. So here's the 250 in the plier wrench. Great size, but there's also a 300 in the plier wrench. The 300 is, you know, filled with that same extra magic that the 250 has, you know, plus some. It's got much beefier jaws. And one of the things is if you happen to be out around the 2-inch range, the plier wrenches are marked here. This says 52 millimeters or 2 inches. That 2 inches, which is not an unusual size, is actually when the wrench is at its full extension here, plus the jaws as open as far as they go. That's 2 inches. So you've got to hang on to it with your hand in that position. However, on this one, I could dial in. If you look at this, there's 52 for 2 inches. So I could dial it in here, right there. You can see it says 52 in the little box. That's it. So if you can see this thing on max, right there, there's our equivalent. But I still have a little bit more range here. And if I've got that range, what that allows me to do is actually get the proper hand position for what I want to comfortably use to operate the plier. So to me, the larger is better. Both of them go down essentially to 0. If you look at the 250 compared to the 300 in jaw size, you can see that the 300's just got a lot more. There's really almost no reason you need less. But anyway, another thing is the way these things hang on to something is pretty incredible, especially if I open this up just a hair more and grab a hold of this. I need to go one more hair. Hair is actually a term. Or is it less? There we go. You see that? This actually stays. It stays so well, I can hit it with a hammer. Okay? I'm hanging on one finger right here. Okay, so I can actually move off and kind of wail on that thing. Plus, once it's on, if you look at this, I can actually make adjustments easily, just like I can here. And that was always my requirement, is just to be able to cinch it up while it was actually on the fastener, rather than make adjustments. So anyway, I can do that here. Another thing, if you've ever used traditional kind of pliers like this, I always have them handy, love them. You can't walk away from them. I mean, they just fall right off whatever the work piece is. But with the plier wrench, you can. So it does have that option where I can drop it on something, and there it is. It stays right there. And I can actually, with one finger, I mean, I can push really hard and this locks up, just like the Cobra. That's the way this thing works. The more I push, the tighter it grabs. So even with one finger here, this is pretty incredible. Anyway, but here's where I want to go, because I always value your opinions. The plier wrench is an outstanding tool. So is the Cobra. However, this is the largest plier wrench that's made. Why doesn't Knipex make a bigger plier wrench? This is the 400 here. That to me seems like it would be outstanding, especially for large cast iron fittings, PVC, things like that. Or even better, why don't they make a 560 like this thing in the plier wrench? That seems like it would have a whole lot of opportunities to do stuff that we already can't, that we can't do with existing tools. I would like to see that. That's what I'm excited about. A plier wrench that is this big. Anyway, let me know what you think. And with that, Doc out.